Hey guys, so today what I want to share with you is how we advance our turnaround on a 3-year-old. This is Gemma. She is a 3-year-old that has very little training on her. She was basically started in December, and so she's got about a year less than everybody else's 3-year-olds, but she's coming along nicely, and I just want to show you, she's a good example because most of the 3-year-olds, if I've had more time on them, would be further along, but I'm going to show you where she's at and how to advance your younger horses to be a more finished product, or even make the maneuver more efficient from the 2-year-old stage to the 3-year-old stage. So she's a perfect candidate here. So she knows, and I'll work on the left spins here. She knows how to just spin. If I put that neck rein on her and my leg, she knows to stay in the spin now, and she spins just fine. What I want to do is make her more efficient in the spin, which is going to be putting her body together. So when I bring that nose and the neck back through her a little bit, or back to me, those shoulders are going to come back to me. And what happens with these horses, if you leave their noses out too long and spin them like a 2-year-old too long, they get those front feet in front of them, and then they'll get clunky and they won't be able to spin as fast. Some can, you can leave their noses out for their whole life and they can spin really good, really talented horses that way in the spin, mostly reining horses or reining bred horses that use that front end so natural. But for us cow horse guys, these cow bred horses, they always want to step behind, and with her it was challenging getting her to spin and step across on that left side, because every time I asked her for that spin, whether I got more bend or less bend, straight or even counter bend, she wanted to cross under with that outside foot. So it was a challenge to get her to cross over. It's a bad problem. It's a good problem to have because she's really good on a cow and she has that really nice cow turn on that left side. But for the reining spin, it suffers a little bit. So if I leave her nose alone, her front feet get a little clunky. So what I want to do is teach her, advance her to go more show mode and get into that rounded or framed up position through that spin so we can help her be more efficient. So what I'm going to do, like I said, she knows how to spin now off my reins. So I'll explain this a little bit. When you go from the 2 to 3-year-old and you're advancing them a little bit or more in that maneuver, we're going to use less hands this way laterally and more foot. So because I'm going to be going this way more with my hands to try and get that framed up position, what I don't want to do is go here and here. That puts them in a real awkward position. So we already know she knows how to spin. She knows how to come off this outside neck rein, so I can touch it less instead of pulling it more to get her to spin. And then she also knows how to come off my leg. So that's what I'm going to use mostly for my cue, is my outside rein, outside leg, and my hands back more. So how you want to start this from your baby stage is we're going to walk her into frame, basically in the correct arc, or the arc you would like to see or feel like your horse is going to perform best on. Some have a little more bend, some a little straighter. So I'm going to bridle her up here, get her soft in that snaffle, hold her right here, and then I'm going to barely touch my hands over to the left and push my outside foot on her. Good right there. So the first spin was kind of clunky. She was up. She kind of jumped off that leg a little bit quick. The last couple of steps were smooth and she was soft. So I'm looking for a few things. The body has to be in perfect position. The front feet have to feel like they're working properly. And the biggest thing is the neck and the chin have to be soft before I release her. So I'm going to walk her forward again. Troubles you're going to have with this is you're going to keep her in this bridle, ask her for that spin, and they're going to pick up their head. If they do that, all I do is keep asking them to spin with that outside leg. There, that was good. Until they drop their head and get soft, and then I release the leg. Remember, a horse wants to be where the pressure isn't, so if I keep that pressure with my outside leg in their belly, when their head is up and stiff or their neck is stiff, I can't release that pressure until that neck comes down. As soon as that neck comes down and that jaw gets soft, then I'm going to release that pressure with my leg. Because the issue, if they throw their head up, isn't typically a foot issue, it's only a face issue. So I want to try to get one thing at a time. I know she can spin with her feet, but if that face is bad, I'm going to fix the face. And that's not going to come with jerking her on the face. The more you use your hands like this, the more they start doing this with their face. They start getting worried about that mouth. I never want my horses to be worried with that mouth. So if you watch my hands, I don't jerk on them when I get them to get collected in the spin or soft. All I do is rub my outside leg in them more until they get soft, which is going to be right there, and then I release. So as soon as she got soft, took off my leg and my hand. So there was a big reward for getting soft off of my hand. Right there. So it looked like probably to the camera everything was good, but she still wasn't soft in my hand. That feel that I wanted her to come off my hands wasn't there. So I kept clucking and rubbing my outside spur in the belly until she gave me that softness. Again, you don't see me jerking on her trying to get that nose down or get softer. It's just a light, steady pressure asking for the softness, and basically my spur is begging for the softness. Keep rolling, rolling, right there, good. So now what I'm gonna do, she's getting softer off my foot, softer in my hands. Now I'm gonna make sure the body position is perfect. Softness through the chin, through the neck, the wither, the rib, and the hip. I want everything to feel perfect. Just one or two good perfect steps, then I'm gonna reward her. So I'm gonna drive her into the bridle here, walk her around to the left, get that arc that I want. Now I'm going to use a little bit of outside rein, barely. She's already moving, very light. Now her head came up, so I'm going to just keep, there. The last two steps were really good. There's the reward. One thing you'll find when you're starting to advance your horses, the more you spin them, the worse they get for me, because they get tired. This is a very physical maneuver. Horses were born to run forward. They're a prey animal. They're born to run from something that's chasing them. So they can run without thinking, and it doesn't take them a lot of energy to run, but it takes a lot of energy to move those shoulders laterally. So, and they also have to think a lot when those shoulders move laterally. So I want to make sure that I don't overdo it by spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning until they're just dead dog tired, and then you start kicking on them because you're like, come on, keep going. I don't feel, for me, like that's very efficient to teach that spin at any level. So I'm only gonna ask for that perfection, especially at her stage, for a few steps. Right there, that was really good. The last half a spin, to me, felt good. Maybe it looked different to you guys, maybe it didn't, but it felt different to me. Felt like the body was together, feet worked better, hands and neck, or the face and neck worked really good. Good right there, good. Now she was really good at the beginning, and I could have rewarded her for it because when I put my leg on her, she got really soft into that spin. Her feet felt soft, her face felt soft, but she didn't have the speed. I don't want her to get numb and just kind of drag her feet or get soft with her feet. At this level, when we're working on this, we still want those feet to be light. They don't have to be quick right now. I'm still developing the spin on her, and I'm developing a show spin on her. So they don't have to be quick right now. They just have to be light. There. Good girl. And you can see I'm not kicking on her. I'm not kicking on her. I never kick on my horses in the spin because all I do is it feels like it gets them jumping around and scared of the spin. What I do is I put that spur in the belly and I'll just roll it there, and I'll just keep that pressure there until they find that answer, and then I release it. It's way better than kicking. If you kick, they jump or they get scared or they pop that head up. If I roll and wait for that response I want, I feel like that's, for me, on most horses, that's what works best, to keep that head soft. There, well, that was really good. So this right here, this part felt so good. If I keep rewarding that, she's going to keep giving me that. There. So now you can hear me clucking as well. I cluck a lot. I don't know if it's just a bad habit of mine, but I wouldn't say it's a bad habit because I'm rolling and clucking and using a lot of cluck, a lot of noise, and as soon as I feel it, I stop. So this horse already knows to keep going if I keep that rein on, so once she gets show broke, in the right position, if she hears that, she's just gonna go and stay in that, at that speed. So it just kind of helps me so I don't have to use a lot or as much spur, because she already knows clucking means faster. Good, right there. Good job. Timing and feel is absolutely everything in the spin right here when you're developing them to this stage. Oh, now that's okay. So that's right there. I didn't barely even ask her. I just asked her to go forward. That's what we talk when we're talking about getting it to be the horse's idea. That's it right there. You can't magically just say, hey, like, let's make it your idea and telepathically tell them. My brain, I wish I could. Hey, right through your ears. But what I did is I kept showing her what I wanted, and then when I asked her to go forward, she outguessed me. She outthought me and said, I'm just going to start spinning. That was her idea. So if we can get those horses to desire those maneuvers, making it their idea, those maneuvers are so much prettier as a judge when I'm watching those maneuvers. If they're not forced into it or not scared into it, but they want to do it because it's their idea, it makes those maneuvers to me just that much more polished. So anytime I get that, what I just had, and it was her idea and she wanted to go into it without me asking, I rewarded that. I stopped it. Even though everything wasn't perfect, she was thinking that direction. And that's going to mean a lot to her. In her brain, when I reward her for that and she felt no pressure anywhere, she's going to be like, oh, if I just stay in this spin and I'm just trying hard, he's just not going to put any spur or hand into me. That's going to be great. My life's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty weird. We know. Okay. Good. So there, I was really rolling my spur and clucking because she wasn't giving me the desired response. So until I felt that softness, I wasn't going to take that clucking and that spur off her. Try that again. Into the bridle, nice and soft. Before I even ask, they got to be soft when I'm walking the circle. Very good. Very light there. Now she can spin faster on a loose rein just when I ask her, but it gets a bit clunky and trashy. So you have to sacrifice the speed that you had when they were late 2-year-olds and just spinning off that loose rein. You got to sacrifice that speed for some form now. So now that I'm going form, I'm not going to ask for the same speed. So I have to back it down a little bit and ask 1 gear less or 2 gears less in that spin for more form. And then once she gets it, when I do ask that speed, it's going to be a lot prettier, a lot more efficient. There. Okay, so I was asking her a lot, using a lot more spur, a lot more clucker, because I just wanted just a hair more and I wanted her to get soft, get those front feet working better. And then she did. We'll let her think about that for a second here. This horse is so awesome. I like the way that no matter what maneuver I'm doing, when I stop, she just draws. She just backs up. I never taught her that. It's just natural. And that's why she has such a good maneuver on a cow. So much natural draw. Very good right there. Feet were good. Neck was good. Felt very light, very willing. I'm gonna pet that. Good girl. Good girl. Try that again. Now she's thinking spin, so what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna let her spin till I actually want her to spin now. So I might walk her here and use a little bit of inside leg to move her away, just to say, no, not yet. Like, I'm just walking you and getting you soft in this circle. And then as soon as I want to spin, my hands move over that much. And then we start. There. Still a little lazy off that foot, so I used a lot more foot, a lot more pressure in there, a lot more clucking until I got that response. Give her a little reward, ask her again. So not yet, not yet. Love the way she's thinking. Okay, watch my hands. They're here, and then they go right here. Good. That's very good. That's getting better. Good girl. And then, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. And then it's like the last spin I was teaching on Josie in the first video. It's just rinse and repeat over and over until they desire to get soft and light off your first cue. Then we can ask them for a little more. Good. I could have rewarded her a few times in there. I got greedy and asked her for a little bit more, but she was good all the way through that. Very good, Gemma. Good girl. You guys, I don't know what other trainers do, but I pet on my horses and tell them they're good girls and good boys a lot. It's kind of, actually, that's my cue to stop a horse in the show pen. Every time I go to spin my horse, when I ask him to stop, I say good. Because my horses know that when I say good, or good boy or good girl, they're chilling out. Like they know, all of them know that. So when I actually ask them to stop, I'll say good and they just stop. Still, again, I'm weird. Okay, a little bit of hand. Good. Good. Good girl. I just felt like she was just not responding off my spur like I wanted her to, and not clucking, so I just kept going. It also shows me what she's thinking too. The more pressure I add, is she's thinking leave the spin, get into it more, throwing the head up. What is she going to do? We have to test those things out before showtime. You know, how is that, if I'm a bit nervous in the show pen, I use my leg a little harder than normal, how is she going to react to it? Well, this is how we do it. If she'll present us opportunities for us to actually say, oh, you're kind of dull off my spur, let's use a little bit more and see what you're going to do. And then again, I'm just going to keep my spur in that belly until it's good, and then I'm going to take it out. Good there. Good girl. Good girl. So that's how I do that. That's how I take them from the loose rein spin, just show them where to go, which you can see her nose is out and longer. Front feet may start getting out a little bit further. 2, let's package you up, put you together, and ask a little different now. Very good, very good. And that's Gemma, and that's how I work on that spin, you guys. Hopefully that helps you out. There's not much more I do with that. It's all for me. It's never about jerking and kicking. It's all about solid pressure or light feel and rolling the spur and just saying, my spur says it's going to be uncomfortable until you give me that desired response, and then it comes out. We definitely don't want to scare them in the turnaround. That's one place that, I mean, we don't want to scare them ever, but that's one place for sure that if you start scaring them, they're going to leave. You're going to go to start to spin them, and they're just going to pie-yaw, and that's it. Ooh, you little jumpy. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and subscribe and like, and peace out.